to the J Spot, replacing your G Spot every Thursday from 6 to 7, giving you real relationship talk, real relationship drama with the best night of your life. Your host, Jay and Simply E, hold on, get ready to enter the J Spot on IntellectualRadio.com.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the best night of your life. Woo! You have entered the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. You all, thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, you all, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. While you're at it, do me a favor, go right around the corner. Boop, boop, boop. Go to YouTube and like and follow us there. That's the J Spot Radio. And then go to TikTok. Doop, doop, doop. Like and follow us there. That's the J Spot. Again, Jaye. Guys, turn on the notification bells for all platforms. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hey, Grown and Sexy Conversations with Jay. Grown and Sexy Conversations with the J Spot. 30 and up doing us, Tyson Smith, the real MVPs. Listen, 180 Real Talk Chicago. Everybody that rocks with us, thank you guys. I hope you guys are having an amazing week thus far. We have a great show lined up for you all on tonight. Plenty of great hot topics. And listen, this one is no exception. Now listen, the foolery be real sometimes, you all. I'm just going to flat out start off with this. Because when I heard this, listen, when I tell you I had the biggest belly aching laugh that I could possibly have. So I was asked this question. How would you feel if someone that you went on a first date with, they were correcting your grammar? How would you feel about that? Would you be okay with them correcting your grammar, or would you have a problem with them correcting your grammar? How would you feel about that? You're on a first date, listen, and the person, everything you say, they are correcting your grammar. Would you be okay with that? Would you look at it as though, you know what? They're trying to help me and they're trying to make me better. So you know what? Let me accept this help that I am getting. Would you be a person to look at it like that? Or would you be the person to look at it like this, as I would look at it? You getting on my last good nerve. Now, listen, and I'm going to tell you like this. My good nerve is not real long. So for you to get on the little piece of a good nerve that I have left, I don't really think that that's a wise thing to do. So I don't think that would work for me. So in going further in the conversation, I said, well, first of all, I wouldn't even be upset about it, because I wouldn't even be there. Because that, to me, that said that, you know what, there was no phone, there was no type of phone conversation, there was no type of phone interaction. Because if it had been, then a person that corrects grammar and all this other bull junkie, listen, this is something that they do on a regular basis. So if we were having a phone conversation and said person were to correct my grammar, correct my English, correct whatever it is that I'm saying, then I would know that via the phone conversation. And therefore, there would be no need for a date for me. Here's why. Because listen, I have my own language. People that know me know I have my own language. I make up words that I have my own little phrase, slogans. I make up things. So if you're talking to me and You're correcting everything. When I say this, see, this that bull-ish that I'm talking, this that bull junkie. Listen, I don't need no corrections on that. I said what I said. I know what I said. I felt it from my foot when I said it. That's why I said it. See, so no, we're not going to be able to run with that one. So if you are, and to me, that just seems a, listen, you're creepy. Who are you? Who hired you to be the grammar patrol? We don't need the grammar patrol to patrol what people are saying. This is like if I want to say Pacific instead of specific. That's the way my tongue said it. My brain said specific, but my tongue said Pacific. The Pacific way. And you know what? We all understand each other. See, that's a, you know what? I know what your heart meant. I know what your brain meant and what your heart meant. I knew what you meant. See, we need people like that to go along with it. But if we're sitting at a table and you're correcting everything that I say, you're going to be sitting there by yourself. You're going to be sitting there by yourself. I'm going to kindly excuse myself from this foolishness because I'm not going to be able to do it. Now, Pretty Tasha, hey, Pretty Tasha, she's saying that not on the first date. Okay, so Melvin is saying on the first date, it's a red flag. Pretty Tasha is saying not if they are constantly doing it. Listen, look, again, for me, like you said, Melvin, that's definitely a red flag. And those that could have been avoided. Again, to me, this says that a verbal phone conversation never took place. Because if a verbal phone conversation takes place, then we're talking. And a person that corrects other people, guess what? That's going to come out. That's going to come out during the phone conversation. And then we get to see what, who we're dealing with. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. Like, again, I'm so big on phone conversations because, again, a lot of this stuff can be alleviated if we start talking. But this sounds like this is just some texting mess. Oh yeah, meet me here on Saturday. We're gonna meet here. We're gonna meet there. And then this is what you get. You get the English teacher. If you don't pick up the phone and have a conversation, guess what? You show up on a nice Saturday night with the English patrol. You have the English patrol that has the Encyclopedia of Britannica. They have the dictionary, the Webster dictionary. They have all the Merriam dictionary sitting right there on the table. And each time you open your crazy mouth, they got something to say. You know why? Because you didn't weed them out. You didn't have a conversation. So since you didn't have a conversation, now you stuck with the crazy English teacher. You stuck. So now you're trying to place your order. Can I first of all, can you stop saying You saying too many times. Can you watch? Why are you popping the gum like that? Why are you see this? Look, I would start annoying them just because they're annoying me. So now you're correcting my English and my grammar. I'm going to give you something to correct. And it's not gonna be pretty. They're gonna be like, you know what? This one right here is ignorant as the day is long. And I'm gonna be like, you know what? Bless your love. Bless you. We're right here. Now we can all raise an offering and we can be done. But again, the simple fix to this, would I leave the date or would I think that the first date is ruined? Again, for me, I would not, because there would be no first date without having some sort of conversation on the phone. Again, guys, we got to go back to the old school, go back to having these conversations, because you're talking about wasting time. Oh my God, I would have been so mad sitting up in there with the English sheet, with the nutty professor, sitting up in there with Professor Clump, and I'm up in here just being criticized. Everything, because that's what it is. It's just like, okay, but you feel like you making me better. If the school system didn't do it, at this point, listen, this product is as is. Don't you see that on the car lot? Sold as is. That's what people are. Grown folks are sold as is. The only people that you can change are kids. That's it. Grown folks, Listen, get the t-shirt sold as is, and everybody gonna be okay. And if you cannot accept the way this vehicle comes and the condition that this vehicle is in, this vehicle is not for you. But what you're not gonna do is sit up there and now, because people that correct your grammar, they're trying to tell you, listen, that's not the salad fork. Listen, I hate the salad forks because I don't like, I like to use one spoon, one fork, one spoon and one fork for everything. You know why? Because that's what satisfies my palate. You see what I'm saying? That's what satisfies my palate. Now, your palate may have time for the salad fork, the soup spoon, the regular, your palate may have time for that. Mine just ready to get down to it. It's just ready to get down to whatever it is that's on that plate. We fixing. See, right there, they would kick me out right there. We fixing to get it in. Okay. We fixing to get down with whatever's on this plate. We fixing to do it. So therefore, listen, all this correcting is not necessary. Because guess what? We're not doing it over here. We're not. Bless your corrected ministry. Bless it. Bless it. From straight from above, bless it. But we're not going to do it over here. Now, speaking of blessing it and doing it from over here, listen. What do you all think about this? Now, this was some straight. I just don't know how to feel about this. So they're asking, is a man wrong or is he justified? The man, he ends his 5-year relationship with his girlfriend because she got a tattoo that said RIP with her baby father's name on her after she found out he passed away. She went and she got a tattoo. And he broke up with her. What do you all think about that? Do you think that he was right in breaking up with her? Was that like, okay, man, she went and she got somebody else's name tattooed on her? Is that a problem? I mean, the man has passed away. So she got the tattoo as a result of finding out he had passed away. So is he wrong for breaking up with her? He broke up with her. He's like, listen, baby girl, I don't know what's on your bird. Really don't care to know what's on your bird. But what we not gonna do is play these type of games. So he breaks up with her. He breaks up with her because she got her deceased baby daddy's name tattooed on her. Is he justified in breaking up with her? Or did he overreact? Or is she wrong? Like, yo, you got a whole boyfriend, you in a whole relationship. Why are you getting another man's name tatted on you when you are in a relationship? Is she wrong for that? Or was he overreacting to her getting that tattoo? What do you all think about that? Deceased baby daddy, baby mama gets his name tattooed on her. Her boyfriend of 5 years breaks up with her. He's like, yo, that's a problem for me. That's a big no for me, and I'm going to keep it moving. Is he justified for doing that? Is he justified in doing that? Or is he overreacting? Is this man overreacting to his girlfriend getting her baby daddy's, her deceased baby daddy's name tattooed on her? So here's the thing. She got it. Listen, people deal with grief in different ways. So am I going to hold that wholeheartedly against her for getting a tattoo of her baby daddy's name on her during her time of grief? I'm not sure if I'm going to wholeheartedly hold that against her, but we're going to have a conversation about that. I will say that it's definitely going to be a conversation. I'll give her space, give them their space to grieve about the loss of, their child's father. I would definitely do that. Or the baby mama, or whomever. You get a grace period. You get a grieving period. I'm going to give you that. You get a grieving period. But after that grieving period, we're going to have a conversation about this tattoo, because that would be the time to do so. So I don't know if I would necessarily break up with him at that moment because of a tattoo. Because again, people grieve in different ways. So you can't really, get mad at a person during their grief. Now, once you've addressed how you feel about it, after they're done grieving, then have a conversation about it. Would I like if my guy got his deceased ex's name tattooed on him? No, I would not. But again, I've seen people do some weird things in the name of grief. So, I mean, I wouldn't like it. But would I end the relationship because of that? Probably not. Like, I mean, it's like if you can throw your relationship away because they got a tattoo and it was something that you did not like, if you could just easily toss your relationship away like that, how solid was the relationship in the first place? Like, that's what I would think. How solid are we? How solid were we if you were able to just toss the relationship away like that? So I don't know. I would think about, I would question the strength of the relationship if you're so easily able to toss it away because I did something that you didn't like or that you were uncomfortable with, opposed to having a conversation with me about the tattoo. You just end the relationship. So again, good riddance for her. I mean, especially after losing somebody. Like, they got a kid together, sir. They have a kid together. So even though they're not in a relationship, or they were not in a relationship, they still had a kid together. So you cannot, like, death is something totally different. Like, you're getting jealous over a dude that's deceased. Like, she was with you for 5 years. So clearly she made her choice. But if he passes away and she decides to get a tattoo in remembrance of him, then again, yeah, I would have a problem with it, but that would be something that I would discuss at a later time once the grief has passed. Then you know what? I'm going to come and I'm gonna have that conversation after the her grief has passed. But again, people deal with grief in different ways, and you can't tell her that she was wrong for getting his name tattooed on her in that moment. Especially when it just said RIP, whatever his name was. It's not like she said love always, love forever, Jimmy Deans. And, it's not like that's what she said. She just said RIP and then his name. It does not say where she got the tattoo at, like what part of her body. So we don't know that, because now, again, the part of the body could be, another issue that could be raised up. But again, at that point in time, when the person is going through grief, I'm not going to harp on you getting a tattoo. Like, that's gonna be something. Again, I'm gonna table that discussion for a later date and a later time. But to sit there and add all of that extra stuff, I mean, like, they did have a kid together. So whether they were together or not at the time, they have a kid. They will always share a special bond. And that was just, I don't know. Again, to me, that just said that the relationship wasn't as solid as it could have been, or as she thought it was, if he was able to just toss 5 years. You can toss 5 years away because of a tattoo. So I don't know. But guys, let me know, what do you think about that? Did he overreact? Or again, was she wrong? Was she wrong? What if the guy got the tattoo of his baby mama's name on him, his deceased baby mama? Does the mother, babe, does, the current girlfriend have a right to feel some type of way? Again, I believe you have a right to feel some type of way. You totally do. I'm not saying that you don't have a right to feel some type of way. What I'm saying is, to address you feeling some type of way during the grief process, then I think that that's kind of low. Like, let people grieve, then come back and then have a conversation. Because again, people deal with death and people grieve different ways. So this could have been just a way of her grieving him. And, who knows? Again, when she comes to her senses and she's like, man, that was just a really, rough spot. How do I explain to our kids? It's like you never know all this stuff that's going through people's minds. I'm not justifying it. Again, would I have a problem with it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Would I discuss it right then and there? Nope. Nope. I'm going to table it until they get it together. They come around and they come on back, and then we can discuss it. And then if they ask, you know what, why you didn't say something when I first got it done? Because it wasn't the time. See, we got to understand that this is what we have to understand. We have to understand just because you feel like saying certain ish at right then and there doesn't mean that it's the time to say it. We listen, a lot of us lack tact and decorum when it comes to having certain kind of conversations. We just say it because we said, we thought about it and we feel it. And so now we can just blurt it out and don't care with no regards to how our words affect each other. And that's not fair. Like, that's not fair. Like, we do so much damage because we talk so much. We talk and we say the most nastiest things to each other, and we have no regard for each other's feelings, and therefore foolishness is in tow. So let's just, look, I'm not saying don't say it, but it's okay if we table a few things and just, listen, just find a better time to say it. Like, this ain't the time to just blurt out everything that you feeling. Now listen, speaking of blurting out everything that you feel, you all, what is this soft guy era? Because you all are just sending me over the edge with all of this new age ish. It's so many divisive terms and followings and trends and challenges that is only affecting Black people. There are so many negative trends and challenges, and it's all divisive. It's all geared towards keeping Black people apart, and we are falling for the ish. By the boatload. We are for. I'm in my soft guy era. What the cuss word is a soft guy era? So here's the deal. So here's the scenario. The next hot topic. They want to reply to this. So the lady, her dude, he's out. He said he's out he's out hanging out for the night, and he's having a drink. And she tells him, listen, okay, well, I hope that you are enjoying yourself, and I'll talk to you later. And so he tells her, he says that he's at the bar. And so he said that after that text message, he knew that they were not going to work. And he said that the reason that they were not going to work is because he told her he was at a bar having drinks. And he said that she did not cash up him money for his drink. So therefore, what is she there for? What's her purpose? Because if I tell you that I'm at the bar having drinks, then you should have thought to cash at me money. What you thought? I'm not having it. I'm living in my soft guy era. What kind of basic Bobby-ish is this? If you needed some money, why you didn't say, babe, can you send me a couple of dollars? First of all, why are you out having drinks if you don't have no money? Or is it because you wanted her to offer to pay for your drinks? Listen, it's this dumb ish right here that is causing division. Like, so now you're gonna break up with her because she didn't send you any money. She didn't cash app you any money. And so they said that, listen, if the conversation were reversed and it was the woman at the bar and she was telling her guy that she was having drinks, and if he didn't cash app her some money, then she should have broke up with him. Why? Did you ask for some money? If you didn't ask, first of all, If you know you don't have any money, why are you at the bar having a drink? You need to be at home drinking some tap water if you don't have any money. Stay home. See, what broke people do, they don't go to bars and drink with money they don't have. You stay home. You lay down. You take a nap. That's what broke people are supposed to do, okay? If you ain't got no money to cover your tab, stay home, take a nap until it get better, until you can afford to be outside. Because guess what? Being outside is expensive, okay? Being outside costs money. And if you don't have money to be outside, stay home. Stay home. But it's not anyone's responsibility to pay for your drinks, to read your mind. Nobody, listen, who has time for that? Oh, well, I was just texting him to see how he was doing today, and he said that he was at the bar. Oh, let me send him some money. Who's thinking about that? Sir, if you're living in a listen, when I hear soft guy era, I'm gonna tell you what I think of. I think of a nice batch of soft cookies that came out the oven. Just soft and gooey on the inside and outside. Just, just delicate. So please don't think that saying you're living your soft guy era, please don't think that that's a flex, because that's just something that social media, that's just another dumb ish that social media is coming up with to keep black men and black women apart. Am I saying that women should not treat their dudes? I'm not saying that at all. Not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, what the crap is this soft guy era? Like, I don't understand. What is a soft guy era? You're saying that what's her purpose? What's her purpose in your life? What is she there for? Because she didn't cash app you or offer to cash app you for drinks that you were already out having. Like, get your understanding together. And we need everyone, listen to me and listen to me good. We need to grow up. These soft guys, these Duncan Hines acting dudes, listen, we need you all to get it together, okay? Grow up. If you're not a part of that soft guy era, whatever it is, listen, this is not for you. This is not for all men. This is not. This is just geared towards the soft batch cookie dudes. This is the soft era dudes. And if you are in a soft era, listen, let me know, where can I send you some feminine products, okay? Let me know, what can I do to help you feel more at ease? What can I do to continue to make you feel like the delicate flower that you want to be, since you're living in a soft guy era? What can I do to ensure that you are treated as the delicate flower that you want to be? Because whenever I hear soft guy era and all this ish, that's exactly what I think of. I think of something delicate and something fragile. And if you're that fragile and you're that delicate, I can respect that. Just move around. You got to be able to be with somebody that is expecting a soft, delicate dude. You have to be with that type of woman, or whomever you're trying to be with in your soft guy era. Like, so that's what I'm saying. So that's why I am asking for clarification. What is soft guy era? Because again, when I think of soft guy, again, I think of something delicate. I think of soft, fresh baked cookies, Duncan Hines cakes. That's what I think of. Something sweet and delicate. And again, it's okay if you're going to be in your soft guy era. Just let that be known. Like, let the woman know that, you know what, listen, I'm delicate. You have to treat me like I'm a flower. You have to treat me like I could break. Like, you got to let women know that, so that they can know if they want to continue to deal with somebody that's in their soft guy era, or do they want to deal with the masculine man that's walking in his masculine energy. Because again, we're getting too, listen, with this listen, the dudes, look, all of this today stuff, you got to let these women know, like, okay, listen, I like to wear nice lacy thongs, women underwear. I want to get my nails polished, purple nail polish. I like to do all of that stuff. Let people know. Don't just ease that on there, because again, I'm like this. Those are your nails, your butt crack, And whatever it is, whatever else is yours. Do whatever it is you want to do to it, with it, for it, because of it, why of it. I don't care. Just don't get me involved in it. I don't want to be involved in it. So if you're a soft, delicate dude, again, let these women know up front so that they can know either to move forward with you or run the opposite direction, because clearly what she's looking for and who you are two different things. But the good news for you, Duncan Hine dude, is there's so many people out here. You will not lack somebody that is willing to step up and say, you know what? That's what I need. I need me a soft bake, soft batched Duncan Hine dude. I need me that. I needs me a sweet thing. Cause I'll be like, come here, you good, come here, you Gucci. Tell me you living in your soft guy era. Oh man. Come Gucci, come here, look, come here, boo boo. Come here, you got a little boo boo. That's exactly how I'm gonna treat you. You got a little boo boo? Oh, come here, Lidgy. Let me take your little tummy. That's exactly how I'm going to treat you. That's my soft guy era. Okay. Bring me the Johnson and Johnson baby powder. Bring me the Vaseline. Let me get Missy Pooh over here. Let me get Missy Pooh all together. Now I'm gonna start calling you by feminine terms, because you're talking about this is your soft guy era. So I'm going to call you and I'm gonna treat you as your soft guy era. Now I already know. You the type of woman. See, that's why these dudes, whatever. You would listen, you was Duncan Hines, sweet cookies, sweetie pie, sweetie pie, soft baked batch cookie. You was already that already. So don't all that bull junkie. That's why men gotta tell y'all, get out of here. Now listen. Speaking of getting out of here, fellas, let me ask you all this. Is there a limit to the amount of kids that you are willing to be a stepfather for? That you are willing to step up and say, you know what? I can be a stepfather to a woman that has this amount of kids. What's that number? Is it 1 to 3, 1 to 2, or anything 3 and above? You're like, okay, listen, I can't do that. I can't do the stepfather thing. Or are you a dude that just says, you know what? Listen, I could never stepfather. I can never love somebody else's kids. I need my own kids. Either way it goes, listen, in my opinion, you're not wrong for it. The only way that I feel that a man is wrong for not wanting to love somebody else's kids is if he got into that relationship with that woman, you know she got kids. And then you go and you show your raggedy, musty behind in that relationship when you had the choice not to get in and when you knew she had kids. That's the only situation that I have a problem with a dude that, chooses not to be a stepfather to other kids. That's the only way. But if a man says, you know what, listen, I don't date women that have kids. Good. Because listen, I say the same thing. I don't date women that have kids, so we're the same. I don't date women with kids either. I don't date, I don't date them either. So, I'm not mad. You have the right not to date kids, a woman with kids. But for those men that do date women with kids, is there a max? Or does it really just depend on the behavior of the kids? Because for me, like dating men listen, first of all, I'm going to say this. For me, I have a limit because, again, as we talked about earlier in the show, I got one good nerve left, and it's not even a whole nerve. So the amount of kids, listen, I have to take kids in sections. So if he has 4 kids, 5 kids, they all cannot come at the same time. They can't. We got to flip a coin and see who's coming this weekend, who's coming next weekend. But under no circumstance are all 5 of them going to be together with me at one time. You know why? Because I'm bound to push somebody's kid. I'm bound to pinch somebody's kids. I'm bound to pop somebody's kid upside the head and then come to me. Let the mother come to me. I don't appreciate you hitting my kids. If you don't get out of my face, I'm going to hit you because you should be hitting them. They're sitting up here acting like they don't have no home training. They not using the good sense that the good Lord above gave them. Yes, I plucked little Jimmy upside the head. Yes, I did. Yes, I took the butt of the comb and I knocked Ray Ray up the side of his head. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I took little Timmy and I plucked him so hard he flew back. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Okay. Yes, I did. Yeah. Yes, I did. Yes, I hit little Linda on her backside so hard. You know why? Because she was up in there skiing, okay? Skiing and twerking like you taught her, but she didn't know how to write a name. She didn't even know that her name was Linda. She thought it was Nene. All the time that the teacher is calling her name, she thought she wasn't responding to Linda. She was responding. She waited for them to call Nene. So now all these times since the beginning of the school year, they got your daughter marked absent because she's not answering to her God-given name. But the moment that turn up, the moment that it's time, listen, baby, you listen, the volume can be low and these kids break into formation. So yes, I popped her. Okay, yes, I did. Popped her. We'll pop her again. You keep talking, you gonna get popped. Okay, and that's just how it's gonna be over here in this establishment. So yeah, there's a limit on the kids for me. I can't look, the little kids that still learning how to write their names, I'm not gonna be able to do it. Because again, my patience for it is gone. Like I cannot be sitting here trying to help you to listen, I'm not gonna stay up to 12 o'clock trying to teach you what 2 plus 2 is. Listen, I barely have the energy to stay up past 8 o'clock. Now you want me to sit here and play around with you with this 2 plus 2. But as soon as a Drake song or a Future song come on, you can recite the whole song. I have a problem with that. And I will pinch your kid, and I will. So is there a limit? If you said that there was a limit, I would be okay with that. But we're going to kind of merge this into our next hot topic. Is it okay for a step parent or your significant other to discipline your children? Is it okay? Like, are you able to discipline? So they're living in my house. I'm paying for them, feeding them, clothing them, being there, doing everything a parent should do. But you're going to tell me I can't discipline them. Okay. I can't be around nobody that I can't discipline. I say that to my nieces and my nephews, people, because people have different parenting ways, and I can respect that. I can totally respect that. You don't believe in pinch, you don't believe in, they like to say corporal punishment. It's not corporal punishment in my book. It's a reminder, because the world is going to remind you. You get out of line, the world is going to put its foot down your throat. The world does not care about your kids' little feelings and all. It does not. So if we don't teach some exercise and self-control at home, and we don't get them tight at home, the world will get them tight. Now, do I say every situation requires getting your hands put on? No, it does not. But can you raise some kids without there being some hands put on? I don't think it's possible. No, that's just me. That's just me. But some parents do think that, you know what? Listen, I've raised my kids successfully without ever putting my hands on them. And I'm okay with that. But me, I have to tell people, listen, I'll put my hands on kids. So if your kid is staying with me and they're under my supervision, they can't stay unless, listen, I'm not saying I'm going to strip your kid down and say, oh, I'm going to spank you like this and that. But listen, I will ruffle some t-shirts. I will pull them up like this and have a nice look. Hey, what's wrong with you? Listen. And here's the thing too. There may be a slew of bad things that I say about you to your kids that may be inappropriate. So this is the auntie that I am. I say that to you so that you can know, because there's a chance that what I say, it might, let me take the might out. It's gonna be inappropriate. It's gonna be inappropriate. I can already tell you, it's not gonna be a cuss word, but it's gonna be it's gonna be inappropriate, because I've definitely, been pulled to the side a time or two. You can't really be saying that to the kids. You can't. I'm like, who is this bastard talking? See, this is the type of stuff that, like, listen, your mama's a bastard, your daddy is too. So what you want me to see? Those are the type of auntie conversations that sometimes Auntie Jaye has, and she, so Auntie Jaye will put herself on timeout when she's realized that, what, she has said the wrong thing to these kids. But listen, if I can't pull your kid up by the shirt, if I can't tighten your kid up, I can't be around them. And that's just that. And here's the thing. You have the right to tell me, to tell people, am I going to be out? Get out. Listen, it depends on what the offense is. Now, most of these kids, I'm going to say this today. Most of these kids, you could say a couple of things that they ain't never heard before. Listen, keep on. I'm going to dislocate your shoulder up in the store. Keep on. And they'll look at you like, dang, my shoulder ain't like for real. Like, so there's some things that I've been known to say that will get the kids' attention. But when I look at the amount of times that I've had to whoop a kid or spank a kid, they typically out the game. By the time this mouth is done running, they're typically out the game, and we right here. We right here. But to tell someone that is feeding your child, taking care of your child, being a parent in all aspects to your child, and to tell them that they cannot physically discipline your child if they feel like your child needs to be disciplined, that can be a great hindrance in the relationship and in the marriage. And that's something that needs to be talked about beforehand. So see, these are the things that we need to discuss before, listen, we get all caught up hanging off the chandelier. Ow, 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 baby. And then we're not talking about the issues at hand. That's a huge issue that could tear up a household, because it's like, if you got your wife, your new wife, disciplining your daughter, because your daughter is fast, your daughter is twerking because her mama is teaching her to twerk. And then your wife is more on the conservative side. You may even want to say a little snob, bougie, stuck up, whatever. Or she could just be in a great mom, because, listen, if you 9 years old, 7 years old, skew and all this other ish that they playing today is not for your 7-year-old daughter. So if her raggedy mama is thinking it's okay, and now she come over here in your house and your wife is trying to give your daughter structure, but the raggedy trifling mama want to be raggedy and trifling, y'all gonna have some issues, because y'all never talked about that. And it's difficult to be the step parent, and I don't like that term step, but it's different to be that parent. It's difficult to be that parent, and you have limitations on what it is that you can and cannot do to that child because of what the biological other parent is saying, even though they may not even be in the same household. So now you're going to try to tear up my house. Now I can't do anything I can't discipline this kid the way I want to discipline them because you got a problem with it. You got a problem with it. Now now you over here messing up what I got going on because you are, you arguing back and forth with my spouse because of discipline. So I would say this: talk. This is something that needs to be talked about prior to getting in a relationship with somebody that has kids, and even going forward with being married with someone that has kids. That's a conversation that needs to be had up front, because we need to know, like, what are we doing in this? And it has to be across the board. Like, we have to be on board with, listen, what are we doing? What are we doing? Are we disciplining them because I spank your kid or put them on punishment or pop them, and then they go back home and tell their mom, she hit me and she did this and she did that. Okay. So if you're not bruised up and like they're not, and again, it's guys, it's a fine line today, because everybody don't have the heart and that genuine love for other people kids. Listen, they struggle with their own kids. So what makes you think that they're going to be able to genuinely discipline your child in love? So I'm not saying go throw the reins and say, oh, willy-nilly, oh yeah, spankings from everybody, whoopings from I'm not saying that ish at all. What I'm saying is, if you have chose to say I do with someone, then hopefully you have chosen correctly. Hopefully you have vetted correctly. Hopefully you are with someone that is in love with you, and they're as in love with your kids as they are with you. Because if you got that type of person, then you could trust that your child will be okay. But if you got somebody that's just there, they love you, but they're tolerating your kids, somebody gonna get hurt. That's all I'm gonna say. So a kid is gonna get hurt, because you know what? The relationship is not in love all the way around. So ladies, you cannot get with a man that he didn't want no kids. He don't do other people kids, but he's good to you. He buys y'all anything. He takes good care of the kids. He's good finance wise. But when it comes to having a rapport and having a relationship with the kids, he puts up a stone wall. That's not a good relationship. Like, that's not a good situation for kids. And we have to be woman enough and mother enough to walk away from those situations that don't suit the best interest for our kids. Because guess what? You laid down and you had them. So you have to make the sacrifice. You have to do what's best for your kids. Even if that means, listen, you got to do without this so-called good dude, but you made the choice to have those kids. So yes, you have to sacrifice your happiness for your child's safety and their happiness if that man cannot love and accept your children as his own. So you should never give someone, and for the women as well, you should not be with a woman. If you got kids, you should not be with a woman that would not be able to love and pour into your kids as though they were her own. You can't even, and here's the thing, this conversation has to be had. She fine as long as your kids over there with the mother or mothers. But once the kids get around you all, she tense up and she turn to a B. No, 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 sir. You got to let her go. Because what if something happens to your kid's mother and they got to come and stay with you? Then what? Then what do? She don't want them there. Why don't you see if they aunt can get him, or they grandmama? They grandma love. Wait, what? And ladies, we got to be so mindful of that, because listen, some of us will be suggesting all this dumb ish to men that they do not, but you would not want that. If it was your kids in your situation, you wouldn't want it. But we're so quick to inflict other things on other women that we would not want for ourselves. So let's not be quick to say, oh, well, can't you see if the grandma, those are his kids. Why would his kids have to go to stay with the grandmother when he's alive, able, and well and established to take care of his kids? Why should his kids have to go to the grandmother? Why would that be the issue? Why would that be the case? These his kids. The grandmother didn't lay up and make them. He did. So they're his responsibility. So if something would have ever happened to the mom, the father should be able to take responsibility. But again, a lot of times people end up in situations where it's not conducive for the kids. Now the kids lose out because you got this man over here that didn't want no kids, didn't want to deal with nobody kids, but he's a good man to you. Okay, but look how he treating your kids. Or you got this chick over here, you knew she didn't want to deal with no kids, but she a good woman, but look at how she treating your kids. So we got to be mindful on who we bring into our kids' lives, because dating with kids is very difficult. And you have to be extra careful, especially if you're moving forward with somebody. It's like you cannot be so quick to just throw any and everything around your kids. You got to watch people and you got to see how they react. Listen, you got to watch for pedophiles. Listen, let's be real, okay? We got to be real. When you got kids involved, these are conversations that need to be had. You need to see if they were molested, if they ever molested. You got to see if all of that stuff, those are conversations that need to be had. Although they may be uncomfortable, background checks need to be done. Listen, you need to see if these folks is coming up in the sex registry database. When you listen, you got to do the full 9 yards. You can't just be, look, you go and see, you can find out if he's cheating, and you was able to find out what old girl he was with on Saturday and all. You can find all of that out. But now you done and y'all got everything together. You mean to tell me you not gonna vet him, sis, for his background? You not gonna vet him and see and make sure he don't have no crimes against kids on his record? You not gonna vet him for that? You gonna vet him and see where he was at Saturday night, but you ain't gonna vet him and see if he was locked up for anything that could potentially be of harm to your children. And I would say this: we got to get our priorities straight. We got to get our priorities straight. We got to get it together. But it's, again, people are free to not want to deal with women that have kids. If you have a limit, well, how many kids you can deal with, that's okay too. You're not wrong. Nobody is wrong for that. You're not wrong for wanting what it is that you want. You become wrong when you get involved with a situation when you know that you're with someone that has kids, or you're with someone that has these situations, and now you go and try to impose all of these rules. And that's what make you wrong. If you don't date women with kids, I'm okay with that. Again, I don't date women with kids either. Guys, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we have more hot topics to get into. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time.
I don't know what you did, but you did it right. Girl, you make it look so easy. Everywhere you go, heads turning left and right. Can't say you a dime, you're a 20 piece. Cause girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Yeah. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. Oh, no. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Hair done, nails done. When you put that clothes on, why you gotta look so good, good? With your hair done, nails done. When you put that clothes on, why you gotta look so good? I can look into you're not an average chick. You're shutting it down everywhere you go. Girl, I want you as bad as I want a check. Cause you're sexy from head to toe. Girl, you're all the reason I be acting funny. Yeah. Everything in me telling me all that you get away. No. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your bodyguard, not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Nailed done. When you put your clothes on, why you gotta look so good, good. It's something about you. Why you gotta look so good? When you're waking up straight out of bed, girl, why you gotta look so good? Or when you're at the job, just taking a break, girl, why you gotta look so good? In the club, turning up, why you gotta look so good? On the dance floor, giving more, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Girl, you know you be killing them when you be getting the wrong woman on. Why you gotta look so good, good. Put your hair down and your nails down. When you put the wrong on, why you gotta look so good? Girl, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good?
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner. Boop, boop, boop. Like and follow us at the J Spot Radio on YouTube, and then go to TikTok. Like and follow us there. The J Spot again. Jay is Jaye. Hey, Instagram, we live today on Instagram and YouTube. Hey, everybody, hey, Facebook. Hey, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Listen, it's just me.
Hey, me.
Sitting next to me, just me. We have esthetician.
Ooh.
Chandler.
Hey.
Mother of a group of cool dudes.
Hey, y'all.
And a little lady.
Missy Woo Woo.
Yes. We got Lady Lotus in the house tonight. How you doing, Lady Lotus?
I'm trying to dry off.
No, you looking
As
like
soon as I came out that office and hit the streets, it's just purple rained on me. And I'm used to, Team Natural with my curly hair. I don't care. I could get wet. My hair go curl up. Soon as I got to the car, my hair was like, voo, 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 voo. But I had a clip in my glove compartment, or y'all would have been seeing me over here halfway Afro-licious because I had my lunch bowl in front of my head. So this part didn't get touched. But that back was like, hoo-ha, I got your bowl in check.
Well, you're looking good. You're looking good.
Thank you.
Listen,
hey, y'all.
It's just us. We are up in here, kicking it, hanging out today, talking. Listen,
Bull junkie.
In the flesh. In the flesh. Listen, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. Grown and Sexy Conversations with Jay. Grown and Sexy Conversation with the J Spot. 30 and up doing us. The real MVP. 180 Real Talk Chicago. Everybody. Pit Life. Pit Life. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for rocking with us. Listen, we are right in the full threshold of Hot Topics. Now, you all, every now and then, there's a celebrity topic that just catches my eye. And I'm just like, just when I thought the bull junkie could not get
any worse.
It does.
They outdo themselves.
But here you go. Okay. Former NBA star Gilbert Arenas, or your anus. Well, listen, you all don't
Take it how you want to take it.
The last name, do not dare, because this will go back to the question we had earlier, correcting grammar and all this other stuff. Listen, okay? So if you know the correct pronunciation, good. Keep it to yourself or take it to the Lord in prayer, but I don't want to hear about it. Gilbert Arenas proposed to his girlfriend with a $400,000 ring. Then they broke up only to get back together 8 days later. They made up and he faked a relationship with her for 4 months so he could switch the ring with a fake ring. She sued him for the ring, the $400,000 ring, and she lost. What do you all think of that? They broke up.
I'm mad he had to fake a whole relationship to swap this ring out, honey. I'm mad about this. Don't come around here with your fake hugs and kisses and your love.
I'm just like, what type of foolishness are we dealing with? Like, that was some, I'm not gonna lie, that's something that a woman definitely, he has to have sisters, because
I would have did the same.
Because listen, he has to have sisters that told him, listen, let me tell you, this is what you do. Okay, this is what you do right here. Listen, no offense, dudes, but you all don't think like that. That's some cunning, conniving stuff that we as women would do. That's not.
His mama probably
told one of his good aunties. They
go ahead and make up with the legal, okay? Mm-hmm. What I want you to do is you go take this ring. I'm about to go get it right now because it looked just like the one you gave her. Okay, baby, I need you to switch these rings out now. Okay, go ahead, because we don't got time to be playing with her.
Because I told you not to get that expensive ring for her in the first place, but you don't listen. And now look what happened. $400,000. And she sued him and she lost. But you know what? Now here's the thing about this. See, this is the bull junkie that I don't like, and this is the bull junkie that's within this. She was black. His fiance was black. See, you all always do this bull junkie. Show me a story where y'all doing this bull junkie to these pink chicks. You see what I'm saying? Make it equal across the board. Look at Lil Jeezy and all the other people. Look at what all the stuff that they going through. They not doing this. And they losing out on way more than the value of a ring. But you gonna pull some punk-ish like this on this sister. I hope when you get with that pink chick, I hope you prenup her up. Because you already know he going to a pink chick.
Half.
You already know he done went to a pink chick. That's why we don't be dealing with things. No, look. You was out there and she did it better and you got mad. That's all that is. I can see the crystal ball right now. You was over there with Crystal with the blue eyes and the implanted behind and the lipo lips. You was over there with her and your girl saw you and then she did it better than you and now you get mad in your feelings. See, I can see all of that. Now, did they say that that's what happened? No, that's not what they said what happened, but that's how I know things here. That's how it happened. So y'all tell me I'm wrong, but yeah, that was some punk. I think that was some punk-ish to do that to her, because again, look at all the other people. If this is gonna be the standard.
But isn't it, if the woman breaks off the engagement, she give the ring back? If the man breaks off the engagement, she keeps the ring.
That's what I
thought. That's the way it's supposed to go.
And so I think the difference is and state to state, every state is different.
I don't think that's a law though. I just think that was.
I
don't think it was a law. I thought it was just, like,
it's a law.
The way we handle things.
It's a law. And it differs from state to state. So you have to check the state that you're in, that you are. I think it's the state that you guys reside in, and you would have to go according to that state law. But overall, in most states, the wedding ring is not a gift. It's a promise to fulfill an obligation to become somebody's wife. So if that is broken off, then the ring has to be returned, because it was ring. Right. It has to be returned.
That makes no sense, because if we get a divorce, you ain't asking for no rings.
Listen, I want it. Well, we're not gonna talk about my pettiness, but you know what? Look, so but again, it is because again, it wasn't a gift. It was a promise that we're going to. It was like almost a contract. Like, okay, you didn't fulfill your end of the contract. The deal was that you were gonna marry me. So when you decided not to marry me, you made the contract is null and void. So now I get my ring back because the ring was contingent upon you marrying me.
I don't agree. I don't agree. You put a ring on my finger, it's mine. You gave it to me.
My thing is this.
It is a gift. You gave it to me.
I don't
even in those intentions. Now, if we went through this engagement and stuff got hectic and all of this stuff, which I figured before you knew you wanted to get married, you knew one of y'all was crazy or both of y'all was crazy. You knew it.
Fellas, do you all want the ring back if you decide not to get married? If you all, for whoever, doesn't matter whose fault it is, if you decide not to get married, do you want the ring back, or are you one of those dudes? Because some dudes do say, you know what, listen, I gave it to you. So now it becomes a gift.
Right.
I gave it to you. You can keep the ring. But in Missy Pooh's case, he like, listen,
I want my ring back.
I want all this.
And ladies,
back.
would you give the ring back? I want to know that part. Ladies, would you give it back?
As someone that did not make it to, as somebody that did an abrupt turn from that right there, I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Speedy Gonzalez up out of there.
Yes. I'm like, I gave the ring back. Like, I didn't want the ring because, first of all, I don't want nothing to do with like nothing. I'm not a holder on to, and that will bring us into our next hot topic. And so we're going to merge the two. The next hot topic would be, when you break up with somebody, do you still keep their pictures? Do you keep the pictures hanging up? Do you keep all the things that they may have given you in the relationship? Do you keep those, with the exception of the kids? You know, we can't send them back. Now, some of us, we may say, you know what, listen, take this car, take these kids, take these stretch marks. You could take, listen, you take these strands of gray hair. You can take all this ish and you
reel
can go.
Reel it back in.
Sorry. That's what I'm telling you, take that, you know. But unfortunately, you know, they can't really take that. So do you still keep the gifts? Do you keep the pictures and things of that nature? So for me, when, you know, I made that abrupt about face, I'm just like, okay, I don't want anything because I just want it to be over with. Like, I want my peace. I want happiness. I want close. I don't want to be going back and forth. If it had to go to court, listen, I wasn't trying to do none of that. Here you go. If this is what's gonna make you happy, look, okay, there you go. You got everything you came with, which was just that ring, and then I got everything that I came with, my house, my cars, and all. So I got all of this. So now we're even. But I don't want to have no ring and have you like, for what? Like, if I say it's over with, I don't want you hanging around. I don't want you popping up and, you know, give me that ring. Listen, you all, that just adds all this
Trauma.
Extra stress of a breakup that does not need to even give it. What are you holding on to it for? Unless it's that, listen, and I get it. These rings are valuable. Don't get me wrong. These rings are valuable. But if you've called the wedding off, you have to ask yourself, is it really worth putting yourself in harm's way to keep something that, you know, good and well, rightfully, it does not belong to you? You already done said no. Now, if he cheated,
I was just about to say I was
about
to say for me, it just depends on, you know, why we're calling off the divorce. I mean, not divorce, but why we're calling off the engagement. If it's just mutual agreements that we don't feel like this is going to work out, then here, you know what I'm saying? This is not mine to keep. Now, if you try to call yourself being slick and sneaky and dirty and doing some stuff that makes me feel like, you know what, your true colors just came out, you're trying to sell your little royal oats, and you done put this ring on my finger, you're not getting it back. Man, this ring is going to the pawn shop or back to the jewelry store you got it from, and me and my girls about to have a party on you. We about to pop some bottles. If it's one of them situations where even he feel like, okay, you know what, you're not what I thought you were. I don't want to be here no more. Okay, you want your ring back? Here. I don't look at that in a way of like, I don't want to keep it because I don't want to fight you and I don't want to this. Because if you're acting like that anyway, you never was somebody I wanted to be with anyway, because it shouldn't even be that bad.
Right, like
you
how does it
acting
escalate to
hard
this?
up
Yeah.
over something that you shouldn't have seemed like you never should have invested money in the first place. If you going crazy over a ring, you're breaking up, dating people for 4 months. If you didn't have $400,000, you shouldn't have bought the ring in the first place
At all.
because you're not going to get the $400,000 back. It depreciated when you left the store, baby. So you ain't even gonna get all that back. But let's go on to the next topic.
But it's like if
about the other things.
So like
keeping people's stuff.
See me, maybe I'm wrong for this, but I get rid of stuff. I don't want no reminders because especially when it's sentimental. I don't want to go back down memory lane. So I'm not trying to look at this and reminisce off the good times that we had together. I'm just not, if I'm trying to get over you, I'm trying to get over you, and I don't want no reminder. So I don't do well with pictures. A lot of times, like with these phones and stuff, if I have pictures, then guess what? I will hide the albums. I hide it. Like I don't have no screenshots. I don't want any reminders of the relationship. I've gotten some valuable stuff. So I will say some stuff I have sold. Okay, let me just say this because because again, like there's no purpose in me holding on to like ring bracelets and promise rings. What is almost did a reverse stick my middle finger. What is a promise ring? Had a couple of those. What promised what? Promise to waste my time, promise to get on my nerves, what are you promising to do? Well, Mr. Man in the stove, how much do you promise to give me for this if I give this? That's the problem, so those are the things that I've done. Clothes, so I am a person that will get rid of things.
So I am a person that I want all my stuff back. I want it all back. I want every single thing that I purchased for you. I want it all back. Honey, let me tell you, I had his friend and his girlfriend pull up outside. I want you to go in there and I want you to come up out that house with everything. I said, don't you leave the sheets on your bed. I want all my ish back. Now, that's hashtag Team Petty, little young Keisha. I probably was like early 30s at that moment. But I am give me all my stuff back. I am everything that you got at my house is in a shoebox. It's in a box, whatever it is. I'm giving your stuff back, and I want all mine back. And then I'm going to divvy it out to my boys, or I'm going to take it to the shelter. I'm going to do what else, because I'm a girlfriend who spend my money on my man. That's how I show love, because I want you to spend money on me. But I want all my stuff back. And then the bad thing is in this instance, I made him bring all that stuff back and left everything sitting in front of his house. Because I really just wanted you to see you ain't without me. Because you ain't had nothing when I came over here. I bought them sheets you sleeping on. All of that. Bring me my watches, my Timbs, bring it all back. As far as like, that was just because it was vindictive. It was bad. You trying to be sneaky. You trying to be sneaky on me. Other than that, I've never really had bad breakups. I don't get rid of pictures of the boys' dad. Like, that's their dad. I want them to see there was a good time, I got an envelope full of the wedding pictures and stuff like that for the boys because those are their memories. I don't want to take their memories away. And I got, I feel like our memories are our memories. And if it's a memory for me, I'm not going to get rid of my memory. It's not about I'm lusting over this person or I remember the good times. It's like I look at it and it's like, dang, I had fun that day, That's me. But as far as items that I spent my hard-earned money on, I want it back. I don't care if you wore it. I want it back. And somebody else gonna reap the benefits because you won't be on your next date with the watch I bought. You won't be going on your next date with them shoes I bought. You won't be sleeping with that heifer on them sheets and them pillows that I bought. No, sir. Say what you want to say. Hashtag Team Petty LaBelle.
That's funny. Listen, because I had a dude that I was talking to. He he don't buy women's shoes because he not buying no shoes for them to walk out
out
his life.
I never heard that before. You know, my man wouldn't buy me no shoes. He was like, I am not buying you any shoes because everybody I bought shoes for walked out of my life. Do you know one birthday that man showed up with some shoes? I said, let me know now. You trying to get me to walk out your life because you ain't got to buy me shoes. Just let me know it's over. He like, just forget it. We been here too long now. I'm like, nah, now you buying too many pair of shoes and you wasn't doing that for about 5 or 6 years.
Man,
I never heard that before.
And we were not like even in a relationship. So I'm just like, I didn't understand where that was coming from.
Well, he didn't want you to walk out his life, man.
Well,
you know what them boots was made for.
Well, he didn't have to worry about me walking because I ran. I backpedaled. Listen, about face. I ran. I'm just like, oh, no, Lord, no.
Who came up with that?
No, this brother right here. Listen, now I know I'm one or two that flew over the cuckoo's nest, but him, the whole cuckoo's nest, it shifts from location to location depending on the time of day. 1 minute it's on the south side, the next minute it's on the west. No, sir. The world, listen. It's a psych ward out there with this brother's name. Listen, it's the whole ward, not just the room, the whole ward dedicated to this brother. So I'm just like, listen, you know, just and
gotta take flight when you gotta take flight.
But I never took see now this I never took nothing back. I just when it's I'm like,
baby, if you don't bring me my stuff, I'll set your house on fire.
Because I'm like, when it's over,
when it's over, it's over.
I'm just tired. Like I just don't want to do. And me, if I keep stuff, I know the thing that comes in my mind. Minnie Riperton, back down. See, I don't want to see that.
I don't think about people like that. I got a coffee cup right now. Somebody bought me. I think about that coffee cup. It's a coffee cup. It's cute. I like my coffee cup. I ain't throwing my coffee cup away because you was an idiot.
Now I will say this. I do have a pillow that he got me, and it was a very comfortable pillow. And I still, but that was,
but you ain't laying on that pillow like, oh, I miss it.
But immediately, but I would say immediately, like once we broke up, I couldn't lay on it. It took me a while, but I was not gonna get because I had never found another pillow like that before. Pillow. So now it doesn't matter. But initially it did. So I just packed it away until one day I was like, oh, I remember this now. Oh yeah, now I remember. I did one of those moves. But then I was okay at that point. But when being in my feelings part, please, I don't want nothing. As far as pictures. Again, I hide pictures. Like I don't like because again, if we not together, I don't want to be scrolling through my pictures.
If you in my phone, you get deleted out my phone. Now on social media, it just depends on what type of picture it is. But I don't have time to be going through social media trying to delete every memory.
See, I don't have any dudes on my social media, so that's why
I like kicking it. You know, I like hanging out. I club.
I do that type of stuff. But like a relationship, I like to keep my ships because listen, when I'm going through my heartbreak, I want to go through my heartbreak in private. I don't need a whole listen.
Let me tell you, I delete them pictures so quick. Don't nobody care. They don't even know them pictures is there.
I know that they're there. I just want to be in my feelings by myself. So then when I have to post the other person,
I'm probably gonna go on social media and tell you, well, that didn't work out, y'all. On to the next one, like Jay-Z said.
Well, I don't want to be doing that. So I just want to keep my heartbreaks to myself. But like I said, I've always been like that. Like pictures, like what my son's father, like now those I saved those because those again, that's your father. You need to have pictures, all that. But as far as us, I can. What my face don't got to be up in there.
You know my graduation picture, girl. You know how our picture used to be. You could just wet it, and I wet my little finger, and every time I pull out that graduation picture, is him, me, my auntie, and my mama, and his little face gone. And every time I look at that picture, I be like, "You are so wrong," because this was your graduation day. And now every time you look at this picture, you got to remember how much you hated him opposed to how beautiful that day was that I graduated from high school.
See, but like, so if there's no special memories attached to it, like just random old relationship pictures,
Yeah, them gone.
like I don't need those. Like, if there's no reason like I should have those pictures, like I'm like, I don't like, unless they like old and all of this stuff with, since if we made it from where my last place to where I am now, whatever is packed up in that picture thing, then okay, it's been sitting in the land of foreverness.
Yeah.
So ain't no telling what's up in there.
Because I got a big old tote of land of foreverness. Ain't no telling what's in that tote.
But this overall just pictures and hanging up of stuff,
You coming out, man, I probably throw them pictures off the wall and put them in a bucket and burn them in that bucket. I like to burn things, y'all.
I just, like I said, I like to sell stuff and just get rid of stuff, and just so that I can feel at peace. And like I said, now there have been some, quite a few expensive items that I've had, listen, you ain't finna shuck and jive me with this. So we gonna either do this right or I'll hold on to it. So I do have a few of those, but it's out of sight, out of mind. But if I think, man, I'm a little light on cash, I may just go back down there and take them up on that offer. If I ever got in those one of the situations, then got about $50 worth of stuff I can go ahead on and take down yonder. But for the most part, I like clean breaks. I don't want, listen, what we going back and forth for? I don't want to do it. Like, I want you to move on, live your best life, and I live my best life. And like I say, for me, I say, listen, today's me is easy to break up with. Very easy.
Ooh, because young me, baby.
I don't have the energy.
You breaking up with who? You going where? What Rudy say? It ain't over till I say it's over.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm just like, I don't even have the energy for it. I'm just like, what you want me to do? Raise my voice?
Just let me know. I feel like just let me go. Don't block my king from coming and finding me. Don't block my husband from finding me because you just want to sit here because you don't know how to break up. If I am not your cup of tea no more, pour me out.
And you know what? And that's so real right there, Lady Lotus. Like,
I'm
people
serious.
are not saying that. Like, okay, it's okay to break up.
I don't want to hurt his feelings. I don't want to break her heart. You already breaking somebody's heart and hurting their feelings just by staying with them when you don't want to be with them, especially if you don't have any kids tying you to this person. I'm not even one of them people that feel like we should stay together because of a kid. Through my years, I've understood why people do it, but I've also seen the effects of you waiting until your kids turn 18 to break up and move out. And now they're 18 years old trying to figure out, why did my family just fall apart?
Or you've taught, and what you've instilled in them is nothing but toxic crap. So now you've waited till they're 18 to break up, and now they watch your toxic marriage. So now this is what they take into their lives.
Wasn't even toxic. I kid you not. I went to go visit and everything was peaches and cream. Husband and wife kissing, husband leaving, go to work. We hanging out, and I went back for another visit and the family was gone.
Yeah,
and
I've seen the situation like that too.
Was traumatized. Like, I didn't know something was wrong. And it's like you put on these airs. I think I'd rather my kids see me stay in a toxic place than sit up here and fake the funk of being happy. Because how could you deal with my mom and my dad were so happy? I never saw them argue. Why are they breaking up? Is it over me? Did I do? We always internalize our parents on us. What did I do? If y'all ain't happy, sit them kids down. They not as young and dumb as you think they are. Because I done did it with mine. Look, your daddy get them a nerve. And I don't think this going to work out. I did not use those words, y'all. I was a lot nicer. But I don't think this working out. And we're just going to leave.
Because we are two different places in our lives.
And y'all deserve better than this.
Absolutely.
He love you. I love you. But we ain't meshing. We got to let this go. I'd rather be honest with my kids and teach them honesty than teach them being deceitful and lying and hiding.
And speaking of meshing and being honest, tonight, you all, we're talking about financial compatibility. Look, my tongue was ready to go get over here and get some of that coffee. Financial compatibility. This is, guys, a huge component in relationships and marriages that we don't really spend a lot of time talking about this. We don't. As long as it's all good in the chandelier area, baby. As long as that part is good, we figure like everything else can go with the flow. We gonna go with the flow with everything else. But this is one of those things that this is a huge reason why a lot of people are divorcing, a lot of people are splitting up, because financially they're not compatible. Now, Jay, what does that mean? What does being financially compatible mean? According to an online source, being financially compatible is being able to find a common ground for your finances. Your finances. See, being financially compatible, listen, y'all may not agree with me on this, but let the church say amen, is just as important as being sexually compatible. You have to. You cannot let this part of the relationship just fall by the wayside, or we just deal with it when we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. This too big. This too big of a component. Listen, if we really want to break it down, our finances, it really is a bigger part. It's bigger than the sexual compatibility. It's bigger than the sexuality, because we spend most of our time living our life with our clothes on. Most of us do. And that sexual part, if you lucky to get it in a few times a week, so if you really look at it, but every other aspect of our lives reflects around our finances. So finances, that's a huge deal that we definitely have to focus on. But when you have someone that is a spender, say for instance, versus somebody that is more conservative, I'm gonna say conservative, with their finances, sometimes that could cause a wedge, because you got somebody that all the latest things, all the latest trends and the gadgets, this one person, they have to have it. Now they're buying it for you, they're buying it for themselves, they're buying it for everybody in the household. But then you have that conservative person that says, well, do we really need to have all of the latest phones every time a phone comes out? Do we have to have all of the latest gadgets? Do we have to have all of the latest gym shoes as soon as all the latest purses, all the latest this? That could be a problem because some people just gotta have it, versus the person that says, okay, well, listen, maybe let's take that and invest it somewhere. Baby, before you even get the rest of the sentence out, they done stroked out.
You want to do what you want to do. See, I feel like when it comes to the finance in that relationship, I feel like there's an umbrella. And in the part of that umbrella over here where I'm at, I get an allowance. And I'm going to do what the heck I want to do with my allowance. You ain't going to tell me what to do with it. And if I want to buy, whatever I want to buy, that's what I'm going to buy. And you have your allowance. And in the middle of our umbrella that's holding everything together, we have where all our money go. Your bills is coming out of one, we saving in one, we investing in one, but we both got our little pieces of that's supposed to come to us. Now, if I just spent all my money, that's on me. I can't go back into the bank account and get something because I spent all my money and I forgot to put gas in my car or whatever the case may be. That's on me. And that's that big financial part I feel like we don't talk about how are we going to make this two incomes one income. Does it matter if she make more money than you or he make more money? How do we bring these two things together, no matter who make more, so we can put them where they need to go? And you have to understand that whatever yours is yours, but when it's gone, don't come back over here. You'll get your other part.
But how realistic is that when you say when yours is gone, that's it? Like,
that's no difference than if you was by yourself. If you spent up all your money, then what happened?
Because they over there still spending and they having a good time, and I'm just sitting over here, I'm looking.
But that's your
can't do nothing.
But that's your problem because you spent your money. That's no difference as if you was dating this person and they at their house with their money and they doing what they want to do with their money, and you over here at your house with your money and you done spent it all up, but they not. So now you watching your man done went and bought him some new shoes and this and that, and you can't have it. You spent, and I think that's different
when, because I'm not sure for me, when in that particular example and scenario, I wouldn't think like that because I'm not your responsibility.
But
so we're separate. So we're just dating. We're single. We're dating. So for me, I don't feel like I'm my guy's responsibility when I'm single. I'm not. That's just how I see it.
Right. But I'm not saying it in that way of he's your responsibility. It's still that separation.
But right. But so whatever he's doing, that's on him.
If I spent up all my money just because we live in the same household, it's that saying that compatibility of this person is frugal and this person is not. If I'm the person who is the spender and I'm not the frugal one, I expect for the person who's handling the finances, don't just keep giving me money because I messed up money.
Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I would see, like, if I'm living in the same house and then your stuff is still your stuff and then my stuff
I ain't saying it that way. I said your allowance.
I don't know. What is an allowance? I've never had an allowance.
I don't know what technical words you want to use it. I look at it like this, okay? Both paychecks go to a main account, right? Okay. So within that main account, you know how you got your 10% go over here, you pay yourself your 10%. Your 10% that got paid to you is your 10%. His 10% that got paid to him is his 10%. Those two 10% have nothing to do with car notes, the light bill, the gas bill, because our savings and everything is coming out of that big account. And that big account, we don't touch it.
So what if one of the people, and this is where a lot of the issues come in at, is because there is no big account. It's just,
but that's my visualization of that's how it is. When it's that this my account and this your account, that's when them problems arise because we're not coming together as one. We came together as one to lay in the bed next to each other. We came together as one to get married and have all these things, and we sharing all these bills and all of this. 2 incomes, 3, 4, 5 incomes is better than one. Just throw all the money in one pot. It look better to see $7,000 a month than $350 a month.
So at what point in a relationship should money, credit, and home ownership be discussed? Like, at what point? Like, if you know you're single and you're dating, at what point should this be discussed? Like,
that's discussed at the moment I feel like you the one. Because at that moment of saying, man, he dope, I think this the one, we got to start having them serious conversations now.
And it's like, the thing is, me personally, like, credit, to me, I like to talk about that way before I feel like you're the one. Because for me, it could be a deal breaker. Because if I'm looking to build, and if your credit is not where it needs to be, that could be a hindrance, because I know what it is that I'm looking forward to doing. I'm like, I know what I'm doing by myself, but oh, god dog it, I got another me credit. Why? Oh, snap, we finna, baby, listen. But if you are on the challenge side, I would have to, like, man, his credit only 5. Ooh, child, Lord, what? At least in the beginning, I can start wrapping my head around if I want to be a problem solver and I want to start helping you build just to get your credit together. Because here's the thing, even if we don't work out, you will always be able to say, man, she helped me fix my credit. She made me better than I was before I met her. Because I'm going to leave some type of imprint on you. So maybe it wasn't for us to get together. maybe being together forever is not in our future, but at least I would rather start talking about that in the beginning and start throwing some little tips your way so that you can start working on that. So in the event one day you just put the schlong dong just knocked me out of my brain, and now I'm like, oh God, I'm ready. At least now for me and my thinking, at least your credit is not going to be holding us back because we've already started working on that. So now we can start talking about building some stuff. But I'm like, I don't want to be building some stuff over here and then get with you and I can't.
I still think it's that line of saying what is dating and what is this and what is that. Because if I say I see something with you, I still ain't slept with you yet. All those things are still early on for me. I want to get to know you. I want to see how you are with other women. How are you with your parents? How are you with little kids? You know, when you see a little kid walking down the street, do you want to trip it? You know, when you see dogs as you running, things like that. Like, I like the dating aspect of things.
I do too.
I'm not going to sit up here on a first or second date, get to talking about money. That's just me.
Man, I am.
On
I'm getting,
that, maybe,
I'm getting right into it.
I don't need to talk about money with you if I don't like you like that.
But it's not talking about, so it's not really money. It's building.
But even in building, if I don't like you, if I don't even know if I like you like that, I'm wasting my energy and my time trying to go down this checklist of my checklist this early in the game.
See, I don't feel like that.
I'm looking at, you know, those personality traits and chemistry and things like that, just to say, because you could go out with somebody for about 4 or 5 dates and be like, you know what? When we first met, it was cool, but you got these little ticks and these little things that you do that I don't really like, and I think we should stop this right here.
Right.
So I don't need to have certain conversations with you before either one of us really even know, do I like you like that?
I'm gonna need to, for me, I need to, because that's gonna determine how far I'm going to like you. That I'm just being at this point in the game, like it's important to me. So I'm just like, because I know how I think and I know what my values are and I know what's important to me. And yes, chemistry and all that other ish is important. But just like I say, right up there with chemistry, is sexual chemistry, is financial chemistry. They hand in hand.
They go hand in hand, but they still further down the line, because you ain't gonna touch me for a little while.
Again,
if you touch me too soon, I already know we ain't about to be doing nothing.
Listen, we got that compatibility part. Again, I just feel like, you know, again, who's to say that we are going to be together forever? But if I can leave something, and this be me.
I understand what you're saying. I get it.
On your mind on how to put yourself in a better position, why would I not? I know I'm the ish. So when I come into your life, my goal is to help make you better. We may not last on a relationship tip, but man, she did tell me this, she did tell me that. Guess who you gonna always remember? Me. I had somebody to tell me I got them doing the detoxer, and he's like, man, ever since you told me about doing this detox, I've done this detox. I've been doing this detoxing for years. Guess who comes up? He's like, man, I thank you so much for telling me about this. This changed my life. Are we together? No, he's married.
But
it's just like, for me, that's how I think, like, what's wrong with sharing information that you know? Don't mean that I'm gonna walk and hold your hand, but hopefully you know that this is something that you need to work on. If you decide to get married, this is something that you need to work on sooner rather than later.
I get that and I understand that, but when you're saying, when do we talk about this? To me, something like that is levels to it. To me, that ain't level 1 and level 2.
I can't listen. I can't get sexually attracted unless I feel financially secure.
I should have been sexually attracted when I first saw you. Your energy should have just sucked me in. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna do it.
And then we get to talking about your FICO score, and we can't live in no good place. I'm not gonna be able to do it.
Because I don't want to hear, oh yeah, I got an 800 credit score, and I got this and I got that. And then I'm steady getting to know you. And it's like, ooh, that's all you got going on for you is that $800.
It could definitely answer. It could definitely.
Because I ain't about to tell you all my business in the beginning. So you don't need to know mine.
It doesn't have to be specific, but we gon' like say, for me, it's just a conversation.
It's a small conversation of how do you handle your things. I get that.
So now what about if a person with good money management skills and their success, can they have a successful relationship with somebody that has poor money management skills? Because again, you could have somebody that likes to travel all the time, and then you got this person saying, well, you know what, listen, I don't think right now we can't travel right now because listen, it's some other things right here that we need to be investing in to build that's going to, let's say, maybe for our retirement. But you got the one with the poor money management skills. They want, no, I believe in doing this and I want to do that. I was doing it when I was single, so I still want to afford to be able to do it now that I'm married. But your spouse, the money management person, they're like, listen, we need to do this and we need to do that so that we can be here in 5 years, so that we can be here in 10 years. Can that type of relationship or marriage work if you got the one person that's wanting to save and they trying to stick to the plan, but you got the free spirit spender? Can those two people work?
If they can compromise in the middle, they can. It doesn't, to me, everything isn't just because we're not the same, it doesn't work. There's a balance. And if you're speaking on, it's her that's the traveler, and
no, it does.
But I'm gonna just say, let's do it. Let's flip it. He's the spender and she's the saver. If he could compromise and feel like, okay, I don't got to take as many vacations as I did. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of money. I understand that you're saying we need to enjoy life. We're going to find that middle median and say, this is what we're going to do. And we stick to that. That's that further conversation. Conversation got to keep going. It can't just.
No, they're in a relationship.
But even if they're in a relationship, we still got to keep the communication going. We can't just stop talking and saying, well, I want to do this with my money, but you want to save the money, because that's where the split gonna come in at. We got to talk about it and we got to compromise.
But again, and see, that's why I say we talk about it and we compromise, but those are things that should be talked about, like I say, in the beginning, like we're moving in. So now, because again, it could cause a split. And here's why.
I feel like, before you do that, I still feel like it causes a split because of non-communication.
According to an online source, the lack of finances is not what causes a couple's divorce, but the lack of financial compatibility. Meaning, if you put a spender and a saver together, that couple is likely to have issues in their relationships unless they can find some common ground. And that often comes to talking about it again up front. But just because you talk about it once doesn't mean that it's just a one-time conversation. This is a conversation that continues on and on, because here's the deal. Let's be honest. The lack of money and bad credit can have an effect on your relationship. It can have an effect on your marriage because it affects where you live. It affects where your kids go to school. It affects so much stuff. And it's just like, we often just minimize how much that this affects us. You could be doing good as a single person and you got your stuff together. But if you get attached to somebody, so like for me, listen, this guy had so much stuff on his name and his credit years ago. I'm just like, so I'm thinking, I knew that up front. So me being the thinker and the strategizer, I'm coming up with a game. Okay, got it. I got a game plan. Man, it's going to be tight, but if we going forward in this thing, we can do this, and this. And by this time, you'll be out of that. And now we can build from there. But now I'm just like, I'm not even willing to, that was 7 years, a 7-year game plan that I would have had to be on for a opposed to me by myself, I'm good. I can move by myself. But when you get married, listen, now it's we. They credit, your credit, partnering up. Listen, if you want to double what you're doing, well, what if he can get a house. Her credit ain't good. She can't even go on the loan for the house, or she can't even get a loan for her another piece of property, which will be both of their properties. Because, this is just a little tip, you all, that I learned. Married couples, and you got to take my advice, talk to your CPA, talk to, whoever do your taxes, whoever you get your tax advice from. But to have property, a married couple, don't go on the loan together. Going on the loan does not make you the owner of the house. Going on the deed is what makes you the owner of the house. So when you go on the deed, that's what you do. But each of you all should get a house in your separate names, get a home loan, and then you both go on a deed. So guess what? Now y'all got two pieces of property. But if their credit is not good and up to par, you can't do that. So all I'm saying is, when we think about going forward, let's not leave out how important being financially compatible is. Let's not wait until we're in love to have these discussions. Again, we don't have to get all in depth with it, but at least we got to see where is a person starting from. So if you decide like, okay, man, I do love him, I do love her, I feel like we can go forward, this is something that we can build upon. But if you wait till you fall in love, you find out he got a 480 credit score and a $500,000 restitution, and he owed back child support, then what you gonna do? Now you're gonna be mad because you in love, but his credit is jacked up. So now you can't move. Y'all can't build. Or she got all these parking tickets and she done went to beauty school and all this and that, and ain't doing nothing. Think about it. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, you all go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. While you're at it, do me a favor, go to YouTube, like and follow us there, the J Spot Radio. Go to TikTok and like and follow us there, the J Spot, Jaye.
Hit the notification bell.
Absolutely. Until next time, you all take care of yourselves and each other.